Hey everybody, got something special here today. Nio Kapos is with me, longtime friend of mine. He's actually the first person who's been on my show who's not either coached or played at Hopkinton. So super special. Really glad to have him right here with me today. And you've been a football player for a long
Yeah,
time. Now you're in college, not playing football anymore. However, you had quite the high school football career.
I did. Yeah,
So let's go back to where it all started. You're from Goffstown.
yeah.
Maybe introduce yourself, tell everybody a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Nio Kapos. I'm from Goffstown, New Hampshire. I played Goffstown football since about second grade. I played from second grade all the way to senior year football, and I haven't changed, haven't gone anywhere else. And it's been quite the journey for me playing football, and I'm excited to tell you guys about it.
All right, so let's start it off second grade. So you started playing football with second grade, and
Yeah,
it was your dad's idea to sign you
yeah.
up.
Before I started playing football, I was a bit of a nerd. I didn't really talk to many people. I was like kept to myself a lot. And one day my dad's like, "Hey, you're a big kid now. I think it's time that we sign you up for sports." And then he signed me up for football, and just took off from there. Yeah.
So were you against it? Were you for it, or were you kind of neutral to it?
Um, in the moment, I was more against it. I was nervous. I had no idea what to expect. I had no idea. I never watched football. I didn't know anything about it. So I was nervous. I didn't want to do it at first, but then I opened up to the idea, and I think towards when it started, I actually started practicing. I got used to it, and I started liking it. So,
So did you make any friends to start it off, or was it take a bit?
first year of football was rough. Yeah, I didn't make many friends. It was more like, hey, you're a kid on my team. We're talking for a little bit, but it wasn't really friends. I didn't know many people from the school because second grade was also when I switched from a Catholic school to a public school. So it was also me transitioning to a new school with little friends. So it was rough the first year, but I think towards the end I got used to it, made a few friends, got to know the coaches more, and it was overall fun.
How'd you get through it? And what's your advice to kids out there who might be listening who are in the same position or a similar one?
Definitely make friends. It makes the experience 10 times better knowing that you have somebody there to share your experiences each and every practice, each and every game. Get to know your coaches, make sure you're comfortable around them. I think that's very important to make friends.
So let's talk about kind of the trajectory of your career, second through eighth grade prior to high school. You're a lineman and you played that position for a long time. Did
Yep.
you ever try anything else?
Seventh and eighth grade, I was a tight end for a little bit because I was skinnier in those years. Before that, I was a bit bigger, and then once I grew taller, it kind of filled out my body shape. So I was a tight end in seventh and eighth grade. So we tried that out a little bit. I transitioned from tight end to lineman, and we kind of flip flop back and forth those 2 years. But that's about it. The rest was all lineman.
Okay, so do you have any super noteworthy experiences from that, second through eighth little window there?
I think the most noteworthy experiences was winning the state championship for Goffstown in seventh and eighth grade. As yeah, as a middle schooler, we were a really good team. We were well conditioned, and our practices were horrible. We had to run miles every day, but it worked out in the end because we were better than every other team. We only let up 14 points in our eighth grade year and 7 points in our seventh grade year. So we were a really good team, and I think that was a highlight of that time back then. Another major thing that happened was me in eighth grade getting invited down to Florida for the IMG Academy East versus West football game. And basically, what that is, it's the best eighth grade players from the east side of the country and the west side of the country get put on an east side and west team, and then they play in a game. It lasts about a week. You have about four practices, and then you play like the day after the new year.
So you went down to Florida for that. What was your thought process going into that? Were you nervous?
Going into that, yeah. So how I got recruited for that was we played for the New Hampshire team. So you know how a lot of states bring their best players in each team from each team in that state and bring them down, play in tournaments. So that's what we did. We were the New Hampshire team. We played down in a tournament in Florida, and there was one coach that recognized me and he saw me and he talked to me and my father, and then he invited us back during the winter holiday, and Yeah, when he invited me back, I was nervous because I was like, me of all people in the country are getting invited to play in Florida against the best athletes in the country. It was it was a scary experience, but also I was excited to meet the players around the country that were better and just as good as I was. And it was mind boggling, like lead up into when I actually got there.
Okay, so was it a good experience in the end?
Yeah, I say it was a good experience. I met a bunch of NFL coaches, retired NFL players who are now coaching uh, on the IMG Academy team now, who were coaching before. I met a crazy ton of athletes that are probably going to go on to play college ball, play at a high level, and maybe even the NFL. Um, yeah, it was such an amazing experience, and I would definitely do it again if I could.
Okay, so you enjoyed that. Is the message right here to all the kids out there listening? Like, enjoy every experience you get because you never know if you'll get another one.
Yeah. Whether you hate it, love it, or in the middle about it, I think you should everything for don't take anything for granted. Take everything with come at everything with your all and don't waste a second because it's gone in a flash. And that's what I realized senior year of football. It's like, wow, I've come like 11, 12 years to this moment now, and it's almost over. So definitely don't take anything for granted because you'll miss it once it's gone.
So you're starting out high school with Goffstown, about 2018, fall 2018, and freshman, played on the freshman team. You were there for what, like 3 games, and then you go up to
3 weeks,
varsity.
yeah. And then my alignment coach asked me to start practicing with the varsity kids, and that was probably the scariest thing I've ever done in football because those kids are huge and they're you know 3, 4 years older than I am, so it was scary. Like because they all look like adults when I'm freshman, so I'm like, wow, I can't compete with these guys, but I think I did pretty well. And what really confirmed that with me is my head coach, coming to me and telling me that I was probably one of the better linemen on the team, and that was a crazy thing to think about because like I'm a freshman and he's telling me I'm one of the best linemen of all the players we have, even the seniors, and it was like wow, it was like an eye-opening moment for me.
So you get that. That's got to be a big confidence
Yeah,
booster.
it was exciting. I was like, whoa, that's wild.
I can tell you with my own experiences, sometimes it's stuff in sports themes impossible, and then you go out and do it, and then it helps out. So
Yeah.
keep pushing. Was there anything with weightlifting over the off season
Oh,
that you did to get better? I bet you.
absolutely. From at the start of freshman year before weightlifting, I was like 225 pounds, and then getting into the season of freshman year, I went up to 260. So I gained a lot of weight in the summer between like eighth grade to freshman year football. And so that really helped me get like where I needed to be for the season and to eventually get on varsity.
So you had that and got better that way. Was there other stuff that you did to train and get better after freshman year?
After freshman year, yes. Other than weightlifting, I did go to like camps in the summertime, and go visit colleges, and they helped me with your footwork and become a better lineman. I watch videos all the time of the best linemen in the NFL, take tips from them, and try to apply that to the games that I play in high school and the practices, and take in everything that your coaches give you and just try to apply all of it to your game.
So that freshman season, you got a chance to meet a lot of older guys.
Yeah,
What'd you learn from them?
I learned that what I said before, you can't take anything for granted. Um, I learned that not to be afraid of competition because I think up until then I was afraid of competition. I really didn't like competing, but in practices where I compete with the senior linemen, they taught me that you can't be afraid of failing because at the position I was in, I was a freshman going against senior linemen. So like if I failed, like okay, that's kind of expected, but if I succeed, look how good you're doing. So I think it's just important to have confidence in yourself, and that's one of the biggest things I learned.
You guys went 7-4 your freshman year, lost to Bedford in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, our rivals. That was a tough game because I played at that point. I was playing on PAT and field goal team, so it wasn't a close game either. I think they won by like 3 scores, and yeah, just sitting there watching our seniors, like during the end of the game when we knew it was over, it was really sad to watch like them like realize that their high school football career at least was over, and it was an emotional experience.
Okay, so you got to feel what losing is like at the high school level for the first
Yeah.
time. Pain motivate you?
Yeah, definitely. I think at the end of the game, I was like, wow, this is their last year, but it's not my last year. And I got 3 more years left. If I want to make something out of it, I got to improve and get better. And that's kind of the mindset I took from that year. And I pushed forward to become a better player.
Sophomore year, you said that's your favorite year of
My
football?
favorite year of football. I think the seniors that we had sophomore year, they were amazing. They were hilarious. We had so many good times. We made so many good friends. They were like kind of like my favorite people of all the years I think I've played in high school. And my friends, that's the year my friends from the freshman team, now sophomores of my age, came up and started playing varsity. And I think that's when we really got to like play together and like have like an amazing time playing football. And I think that was the best year of play I've ever had. Probably because I was having such a good time. And it was just an amazing experience. I would go back in an instant to play again.
So you guys went to the playoffs, 7 wins again,
Mm-hmm.
fall short to Salem.
Yeah, it was sad because earlier in the season we beat Salem, which was it was kind of like they kind of turned into our rivals because some of their players played dirty, and so all the rest of the season we were like kind of like excited to play them again if we made playoffs, and we get there and they just got the better of us, and that was I think that was a harder game to lose than the season prior freshman year because I knew the seniors so much more and I knew them more emotionally, and it was just it was more sad than anything to watch our season end the way it did.
Junior year, COVID year.
COVID year.
How'd that change football?
Yeah, practices limited, summer sessions limited, time to develop limited, weightlifting limited. It was hard. So it was a lot of like stuff you do on your own. And our coaches pushed that to like stay in shape, stay eating the right food, stay fit. And so I encouraged to do that with my other teammates of my age and the teammates that were younger, and so did the seniors who were a year above me then. Yeah, so it was a lot of on your own time that you do, and you just have to be dedicated to be ready for the season because we don't get a lot of opportunities, especially in COVID. We had, I think, 4 games in the regular season, which was it was a different experience. I didn't get to play in. I played in 1 game. I played the first game of the season, and I was out with a concussion. So that was rough.
Let's talk about your injury for a minute. What happened there? What was the play? How did you go through the recovery process?
All right. So after the first game of the season, I think we won the first game of the season, and then I think it was the Monday or Tuesday practice after that. We were in 2-on-1 drills, so it's 2 linemen against 1 D lineman. I was the D lineman. They were trying to block me. I was trying to get through them. They both hit me head on, hit me in the head. I fall backwards, and I was out for like I don't know, like 5 minutes, and then the next thing I remember, I was sitting in my bed at home, and so that was I don't know. It was a weird experience. It's like I never been like knocked out or passed out before, so that was the first time for me, and it was confusing. And once I came to realize that I'm not going to be playing for a while, I tried. It was it was rough because I knew that year would be the year we do our best because we had the best players I think we had in all of my high school career, and it just really sucked to sit there on the sidelines at practice and in games watching my team play and not be like 100% a part of it. But I tried to make the most of what it was.
I hear you. So you go 8-1
Yeah.
and you win your first 3 playoff games. Take us through that.
First 3 playoff games were
Concord,
Concord,
Bedford,
Bedford,
Winnicott.
and yeah, Concord was easy because that year I think most teams made the playoffs. So even if you were good or bad, you were in the playoffs because of how little games there were. So it was really like a tournament of all teams. So we beat Concord pretty easily. I think we were up by 3 touchdowns at the end of the game. Then Bedford was the game I came back from my concussion, and that was the best game I had from. I think it might be the best game I had in all of my high school career. I had about 3 sacks on the D line, and I held my own on the offensive line. And yeah, it was a great game. A lot of emotions in that game because I was coming back. I was excited to be back with my teammates, and it was good to celebrate that game after we got the win against our rivals too. So
Bedford.
Another rival team. That
Revenge for your freshman season, perhaps?
Absolutely. It's always revenge against us. Whether we win or lose, you remember that one thing that happened that you didn't like. You take it on, and the next time you see them. Yeah, that was a good game. It was fun to play against them. It's good competition always against Bedford, and to win that game was pretty special. Yeah.
Okay. And then Winnicott semifinal.
Winnicott semifinal. Yeah, Winnicott was a more up and coming team that year because my next year we'd see them championship. But Winnicott was a good team. They're a run heavy offense. They run the ball almost like 97% of the time. They don't throw it all. So it was, being a D lineman as well as an O lineman, I don't get many breaks. So it was a tiring game, a taxing game on your body. And it was one of those rough games that, you realize maybe not when you're playing at the moment, but afterwards, like that's what football's about. It's about who can outlast the other person. It was a good game.
So then you guys go to the championship against Nashua North.
I think I don't know. That might be one of the worst, not worst, but like most like disappointing losses because it's the championship. All week, the Nashua North team was talking about how they beat us easily. The people writing in papers telling us they beat us easily. No one having faith in us, and us going in with the utmost confidence and just will to win the game, and then we fall like 3 touchdowns short. It sucked because I think I knew that year that was probably our best chance of, or one of our best chances of getting a ring, becoming a high school champion, and it was sad to see it all sort of fall apart.
Most painful experience, most motivating experience, perhaps.
Motivating, yes, because I knew I had one more year, unlike the seniors who had to leave their high school careers with a championship loss. I knew I had one more year to try to put something together and see if we can make another run for it. And so I think that was probably the most motivating experience, also the most painful, like you said.
Emotions going into senior year, knowing this is it.
Crazy. At that point, my football life had been great, ups and downs, obviously. There was a point where I thought maybe I shouldn't play anymore, maybe I don't want to play anymore, but you're with your friends and you've been there for so long, like you cannot quit on the last year, and it's just, it's such an emotional thing to go through, like of any sport I can imagine, your last year playing until you go off to become an adult and do adult things, whether you're playing in your adult life as a college player or you're going off to study something or you're going off into your career. It was a crazy moment to realize like this is the last year of my kid life as an athlete.
So you made it to the playoffs.
Yeah.
But
fall short to Winnicott. Winnicott ended up winning the championship that year. Yeah.
So That must have been a tough experience for you. So now that it was over and you knew it was over, did you regret anything you did?
Regrets.
Or did you feel good about some of the stuff you did? That's
Yeah, I can't say I regret anything because I try to go through like my life as an athlete and as a person living without regrets. Because if I live with regrets, then I'm gonna regret it forever. So I can't say I regret anything. Maybe I wish I could have done things. Maybe wished I would have worked harder, got more opportunities for myself to be better as an athlete, and maybe things would have been differently. But overall, I think in my career, I did everything I wanted to, except win a championship, obviously. But not a lot of people can say they do that. It's one team a year, and I think being with the people I was with, my friends throughout all of my football life, not just high school, and the coaches you meet along the way, I think it was a memorable, uh, insanely large part of my life, and I will forever be thankful for becoming part of football and football becoming part of me.
now that's over. What's your advice to those people out there who have still yet to complete high school careers and still have sports ahead?
Like I said, don't take anything for granted. You can't waste any opportunity. And if you're good at something, or if you want to be good at something, you gotta take every opportunity you have to become better and enjoy the moments while it lasts, because it doesn't last long. You'll be sitting there your last game of high school thinking, wow, look what I've done, or look what I haven't done. And you decide now how you want to be looking back when it's over.
So you had that, and then just when you're in a bad spot, what do you do?
A bad spot, you gotta put the bad things past you, because I think you have to realize that there will be bad. There's always going to be bad, but bad times don't last when you have a good headspace, and you got to just keep pushing through the bad times, knowing that it's going to get better and improving on yourself so you can learn how to get through it easier. And
So now that it's over, you decided not to play in college.
yeah,
Why'd you do that?
I decided that I wanted to focus on my education more. It would be a huge commitment to play college football, especially somewhere like UNH, University of New Hampshire, where I'm going now, which I did have an offer to go there, but I decided not to take it, and to pursue marketing at the university.
So what are you hoping to do with marketing?
Marketing, I'm hoping to finish with a degree, and then right now I'm actually starting marketing, very small, but I'm starting to talk to businesses, hoping to get their permission to, put their stuff out there, and, get paid to promote them. And yeah, so my don't know if I have an exact plan yet, but I'll figure out along the way, and hopefully I can make a successful career out of it.
And now your future, where do you see yourself 5, 10 years down the line? Is there
Five,
something else you want to do other than marketing? Would you like to go back and coach football?
I think if I could go back and coach, it would be for Goffstown. I don't think it could be anywhere. It would be amazing to coach. Maybe like 1 year at least. Maybe 1 year, just come back and leave me old coaches if they're still there, and just be part of that from a different perspective of football, and just see what it's like, and just come back to the school. So yeah, maybe 5, 10 years from now, I see myself coaching back at Goffstown. That would be great.
Do you have a preference for if you want to start off with coaching younger kids, or if you want to jump right in and go coach a varsity team?
I think coaching a varsity team would be preferable. Obviously, it's not as easy to get the job, but I think coming back to at least be an assistant somewhere in Goffstown at an O-line position would be fun. I hope my coaches are still there when I go back to try to coach, and it would be fun to connect with them again and just coach with them and teach kids the things I learned from when I was playing, what all the values that football brings to them, and make them better athletes and better people.
All right, Neil. All the best with your future and
Thank you so
everything.
much.
Thanks for coming on, man. Great to have you.